Hello, welcome back in our beautiful presentation with those rectangles. This will be most likely the most important lesson of this section. You may think, what can be important in text boxes? There are just simple text boxes, you insert them, you change the font, and that's everything. This would be everything, but PowerPoint has a specific way of dealing and using them. So let me show you and explain the most important things you'll need to know now and in the future while you're working in PowerPoint. Let me go ahead and create a new slide. We will need some place, so I delete the basic boxes, so I show you how to make them from scratch from beginning. You already saw that text can be inserted here with the text box. Let me get here, enter the first text box, I place it here and write this is a cool text, really amazing. I will instantly go and make it a bit bigger, so we will see what we are editing. As you see, PowerPoint is enlarging the text box as you make it bigger, but only to a certain point, so you can always take it and drag it out. The downside here is that we can't make it bigger on the bottom. Only when you press enter and address a new line, it will go bigger. Let me explain all the options to change things up. On the left side of the Home tab, we have the font panel. In the font panel, we change everything like the font itself, its size, and making it bold, making it bigger, making it more narrow or more loose. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. You need to click around to view all those options. On the right side, we have the drawing options, which apply to shapes. This rectangle is a text box, but PowerPoint is also treating it as an object. As I go to Home, select Selection Pane, you see we have text box 3 here. So it's also an object. I can click here to make it filled, I can click here to make an outline here, and you can always go down to the options and make it bigger, and for example change the dashes to a dot one, and you are achieving some simple design around here. You can always get rid of any fill by going here to the property and choosing no fill. So now I have this ugly text box with an ugly text font and with some ugly outline. Okay, the same options, like the font and the drawing options, are here in the Format tab. So you may ask, why all this? Why you can make those things in two places? These are specific options, as I told before, to the box which is currently selected. So it's good that this is here because you have all options at once. It's just a coincidence that the font options and the drawing options are here and we can use them to edit this box. Okay, let me go to the drawing tools and show you what I usually do when working inside of PowerPoint and making some presentations. Most likely you will use all these, but it is just a tiny bit easier when you right click on it and go to Format Shape. Inside the Format Shape tab, you have all the necessary tools and options inside of one place. You must get familiar with this place. I have here on the left side the shape options and on the right side the text options. It is obvious that these will apply to the shape and those will apply only to the text. Let me show you a few examples. The Format Shape tab is good because here we have all the options. Here we only have a snippet. Let me show you an example. We have the fill options and the line options. Just as here we have the fill options and the outline options. But when I click on the outline options, for example the weight, I have only 3 points, 4 points, 6 points, and that's it. What if you would like to make 10 points or 20 points, a really big outline around some text? This is why you need to click more lines and the Format Shape tab would appear anyway. So if you are going for very basic editing of this text, you can always go here, change the text fill, change the outline, but if you need something a little bit more advanced, you always go here, for example to the weight or the dashes, and go to more lines where the appropriate option will appear and you have more control over it. For example the transparency option, which is very often used in graphic design but is not available via this panel. Okay, but this lesson was to talk about text. Let me get rid of the outline. No outline on the text, no outline on the shape. Okay, I have the text plain and simple. I go to Home, I make it bold, so it's even better visible. I align it in the middle. I make it even bigger, so it's really greatly visible. Let me extend this box because of course the text is now too big. I come closer and we see everything. Inside of the text options, in the Format Shape tab, we have 3 instances. And these are, just as I have shown you here, the text fill, the text outline, and the text effects. Only the third one here is different because it's about the positioning, but we won't need that. We are positioning it automatically here as we see it. So the first tab has the text fill options and the text outline options. And the second one are the effects. I won't go through the effects, these are very simple effects. You can open up each effect and use the presets to see how they look and what they do. A really important thing to remember when it comes to editing text. If I select a certain text and I do a change to it, for example making it blue, it will apply only to the word I've selected. But if I click on the text and I go here and I select the entire box, so it's not dashed, it's selected, and I click here, it applies to the entire box. Okay, let me go Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. I will split up this lesson and continue the fill and line options in the next one, but for now, if you never opened PowerPoint and this is a little bit overwhelming for you now, please go inside of PowerPoint, go to Insert, insert a text box, just like I did, write some text here, right click on it, go to Format Shape, and by clicking on the text options, here having the first A selected, or the second, where the text effects are, go and click around with each option. This will take you only a few minutes and you will have a deeper understanding and it will be easier for you to watch this lesson and you will already know what's happening. So see you in a moment when I get to the details about text filling and outlining.